And our first guest, great guy, great guy. We've talked a few times in D.C., and we want to bring him up to get this thing together. Congressman Adam Smith, would you come up, please?
Thank you. It's great to be here. I was here just a couple of months ago. Had a really good discussion. And it's enormously helpful for me to hear from veterans about what issues are, how we can work to help you. At the Seattle VA, with a wide range of issues, we had a very good discussion. Continue to work on the back of Washington, D.C. I want to particularly thank Julian Purdy, who was my legislative assistant. He actually has moved on to work on veterans issues for he brought it through back in D.C., left my office. But he was the one who worked very closely with the organization on organizing this event, but also on a wide range of constituent issues to help veterans. So I appreciate his service and his work. He's a veteran himself. Really appreciate the work he's done in our office. And it is incredibly appropriate that we have time to celebrate and recognize the contribution of Black veterans. Because the history of our country, as you may well know, is not perfect, very mildly. But one thing, we all come together to try to build towards a better America. And nobody, I think, personifies that better than the African-American community. That despite slavery, despite Jim Crow, despite institutional racism, you have Black Americans who, throughout the history of our country, have been willing to put their lives on the line for this country and for what they know it can be and what it stands for. And that type of selfless dedication to an ideal not yet achieved is truly remarkable. So having a day that recognizes what Black Americans have done, what they've been through in order to serve this country, I think is incredibly important to remind our country where we've been, how far we've come, and how far we still have to go. I also want to continue to work with veterans more broadly on issues. We did pass a budget agreement just a couple days ago, which is good. It means that we're on path to actually fund the VA. The Missions Act is going to have a lot of money behind it. We want to make sure it's implemented properly. And the last thing I want to say is whatever I can do to help, whatever my office can do to help, we're happy to. Also, we want to recognize Susan Albany, who's with us. We have a great delegation. The entire delegation, I think, is absolutely committed to serving veterans and trying to address whatever concerns you have. I know we've got a lot of work left to do. I'm absolutely committed to doing the best we can every day and getting better and moving forward and serving our veterans as best as we can. I appreciate you taking the time out to specifically recognize the service of our Black veterans for the country and the conflicts that we face and the conflicts that we continue to face. So thank you for the opportunity to say a few words. It's a great honor to be here.
All right.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you all for coming out and for this inaugural event. I'm so pleased to see so many faces here today. And just to piggyback on what Congressman Smith said about his legislative delegation, to give you some background on our event. Every year, DAV takes a legislative trip to D.C. It's our midwinter conference, and the goal of which is to present our legislative agenda to the Joint House-Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs, in addition to presenting our local legislative issues of concern to our representatives. And during this trip, in this past February, we wanted to speak to a particular issue that came out. I've got the February issue of our DAV magazine. It's a fantastic magazine, by the way. This article is called Blind Justice, and it's the story of Isaac Woodard, who was a World War II veteran. Less than 24 hours after being released from active duty, Sergeant Woodard he fought alongside his fellow servicemen just to have to sit in the back of the bus when he came home. And not only that, so he's on the bus on the way to South Carolina, and he is racially profiled by the bus driver. They call the cops, they drag him off, they beat him, and they blind him. He had a criminal conviction from this unfortunate event that only recently was vacated. And I read this article and talked about this with Commander Ron and said, you know, these are stories that people don't know anything about. And I know I've talked to a lot of Black veterans over the years, and it's the same narrative that comes up, and that's we often don't feel seen. We don't feel that our service is acknowledged or appreciated in any way. But it's still okay to ask us as servicemen and women to go out and be willing to put our lives in the line for our country. So we wanted to put this event together as a means of helping to rectify that in some small way. And that is why we are doing this event in honor of Sergeant Isaac Woodard and all of the other Black veterans who go unseen, unheard, and unappreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamiko. Thank you. I was just asking Kamiko, what we're going to do is just introduce a few of the people that are here, because we got some members that have never met Congressman Adam Smith. Susan. So, we have Adam Smith, Congressman Adam Smith, I'm sorry. Congresswoman Susan Delbini. Okay. All right. This gentleman sitting in front here, this is Mr. Clyde Robinson. He's the last of the Northwest Buffalo soldiers. His photograph is on the wall. Yeah! When I met Mr. Robinson, the guy was so sharp and pressed and stood tall. I just want to know, that's Mr. Robinson, how did you get to be your age looking so good? He says, get your butt up and do something every day. Thank you for that, Mr. Robinson. I took your advice. I hit my 90s, I sure don't want to look like you, brother. Thank you. And we got our state commander, Jeff. Our state treasurer, Clarence Foster. Yeah! We've named him around here AKA Cat Daddy. He answers by that. Anybody want to hit him up and say, hey, Cat Daddy. He's here. Then we have our honoree, Mrs. Frankie Manning. Now, I don't want to forget the guy on the end. He does it all. He's like the ever-ready battery. Mr. Cyril Miller, just don't give up and don't stop. Won't take no for an answer. So we thank you, Mr. Miller, for everything you do. And if I missed anyone, just throw your phone at me. I'm sorry. I kind of look around. We have the Veterans, Puget Sound Veterans Hospital Director, Mr. Tadich, is it? Mr. Tadich. You're doing a fine job down there, Mr. Tadich. The place is great, good service. I'm really pushing our VA hospitals. It's a great place. I tell everyone, get down there. If you're a veteran, don't wait, get down there fast, okay? Thank you. We're going to do the presentation. Kamiko, is that?
Yes.
Okay, Kamiko, tell us you want to come in.
Yeah.
This is our first annual, so we're a little rusty and dry. We're just trying it out, so bear with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present our first Distinguished Veteran Service Award to Mrs. Frankie Manning. put that out especially for you, Ms. Frankie.
Okay.
Okay, you sit here and just enjoy the moment.
Thank you.
Frankie Manning says, when you do the right thing for the right reasons, nobody can do you harm. And that one service is rewarded by the virtue of the time spent helping others. That has been the philosophy that's guided her for over 4 decades as the chief of nursing at VA Puget Sound and American Lake Hospitals. Originally from Texas, Ms. Frankie received her bachelor's degree in nursing from Wichita State University and later earned a master's degree in nursing administration from the University of Iowa. From there, she went on to have a storied 22-year career in the United States Army, where she worked tirelessly at helping our nation's military by providing them with access to high-quality medical care and other needed services. Some of her most notable nursing work includes serving as the co-founder of a family clinic service providing one-stop preventative services for members of the minority community, serving as a volunteer Red Cross staff nurse at Yokota Air Force Base in Japan, serving as the quality manager at Radai Military Hospital in Saudi Arabia, defining policy and procedure guidance and advising the commander of the 50th General Hospital in Fort Lawton, Washington, performing missionary work in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and passing the torch to future nurses as an adjunct assistant professor at the University of Iowa, and as a clinical faculty and adjunct clinical professor at the University of Washington School of Nursing, among many, many others. Ms. Frankie is a member of the Washington State Nurses Association and the King County Nurses Association. She is also a member of the National Organization of VA Nurses, is the founder and lifetime member of the Wichita Black Nurses Association, and is an executive board member of the Mary Mahoney Professional Nurses Organization, an organization created to honor the life and works of Mary Mahoney, the first colored graduate nurse in the United States. Ms. Manning's numerous accolades include the Seattle Mayor Intergenerational Award, the Congressional Black Caucus Award for Service, and the Secretary of Veterans for Excellence in Nursing, of which she was the VA's first recipient. Ms. Frankie is also a loving mother and grandmother. Once again, ladies and gentlemen,